And we're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Changeling the Lost Smoky Mountain Wilds. I am William, or Shawnee, and I am your storyteller for this Changeling the Lost 2nd Edition Chronicle. And joining me today, we have Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie, and I am playing Joe Arbor, who is an elemental notary.
And Drevian.
Drevian, I am playing Frisian, the Darkling Hunterheart.
And Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm playing Cassandra Scott, the elemental polychromatic.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Jackson Montgomery or Marlena Dubois, who is a Ferris Chatelaine and knows who the Beatles are.
Look, Frisian has a very good reason to not know. Frisian has a very good reason to not know who the Beatles are.
I was about to say the band didn't form until after you were gone and was already gone by the time you came
Yep.
back.
We haven't had enough downtime for somebody to catch Frisian up on like 7 decades of music.
Add it to the list. Add it to the list. There's gotta be a list.
And Austin.
Hey, I'm me, and I'm playing people.
Frank and Lisa.
Frank and Lisa.
Yes, I'm playing Frank and Lisa, who are beastkin, and one of them's the Lethapomp, and one of them is the polychromatic. And if you haven't seen any episodes at this point, you probably should, because we're pretty far in, but they're the same person, kind of, but not really, but kind of.
I love that you always have trouble remembering polychromatic as the two of those, despite the fact that Julia always says it immediately, like a couple
At least 15 seconds before I say it, and it's too long for me to remember something, okay?
Yeah. Gods, I feel that in my fucking soul.
I do not control the remember.
I don't.
This stream is brought to you by ADHD.
I'm also on medications that make my memory even worse.
Listen, I don't know if I have ADHD. I am store-brand neurodivergent, okay? It could be anything.
This stream brought to you by ADHD, the autism spectrum, and everything else that goes crazy in someone's brain.
And by viewers like you.
At our Patreon,
That's
patreon.com/ffilms. You can give us money.
Katie. The funny part is, Julia and I are here because we were part of the audience.
Let's say both Drevian and Julia started as viewers.
Yes, that is true.
I think I broke Jeremy and it was fun.
But, as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, eat the rich.
Fuck Vince McMahon.
Mental health is important, and therapy is not a bad thing. I feel like that's relevant for a Changeling game.
Store-bought serotonin is fine. If you cannot make your own.
Consumption.
Was somebody saying it wasn't?
There's a whole... Okay. You don't want me to get on my mental health awareness.
Oh, are you talking about the people who are like medications to help your brain work properly are bad? Because they're just wrong, and they could probably use some medications that would help their brain work properly.
You need to go on a hike and get sunshine. It's like, I will go on a hike to get rid of your body.
You want to go on a hike and get sunshine and be worse off for it.
Give me my fucking pills.
If you don't need medication, fine. The people who do need medication need their fucking medication. And I say that as someone who doesn't need medication.
I will cut a bitch. Which is why you want me to have serotonin.
Exactly. But when last we left off, the group had established a plan and had discovered what the stakes were. Having discovered based on their interrogations with some of the vampires who have been brought to a Nosferatu by the name of Agony's tomb in the middle of the city. having discovered that the Sabbat appear to be looking for the body of an individual by the name of Malkav, who the vampires the changelings are associated with have described as very, very, very bad news. And in order to attempt to potentially locate this individual, the group has been requested to visit the dreams of a Malkavian in the city who might be able to identify where this body is and how to find it. But in order to do so, the group will need to learn the art of oniromancy, because though they have all had these lucid dreams, not all of them have learned really to manipulate them. It takes effort to truly awaken. Especially in 2nd edition Changeling, it takes effort to truly awaken into the power of dream manipulation. And so they've gone to they are planning once they get a night's rest to go to the Commons and learn the art of oniromancy from Briar Rose. With Tyr acting as a training dummy for Cassandra, at least.
Yeah, we need to have that conversation about doing that.
But with that, before that happens, there's a conversation that Frisian needs to have before everyone gets their rest.
Frisian will, as everyone's heading off, Frisian will catch Jackson, and we'll just ask Jackson for the icon that Lisa gave him. That Lisa had found.
Yes, of course, son. Yeah, I probably have it on me. I would imagine it would not have left my person at any point. There's dog tags, if I remember correctly.
Set of dog tags.
Yep. So pull them out, hand them over. Here you go, hon.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
The instant your hand touches the metal of the dog tags, they, being extant outside of the hedge, become part of you. There is a brief flash of blue and green light, and they vanish as your mind is assaulted, might be the best term in this particular instance, with the memories of your military service. The good, the bad, the horrific. The memories of pride and of serving with fellow soldiers, the atrocities of wielding a flamethrower on an island, the atrocities of operating in the entirety of the Second World War, and your activities in the Eastern Theater. Every single memory comes rushing back in an instant. And you regain all willpower if you're missing any, and gain an additional one.
All willpower. She does not have a thing for all willpower.
It'll be in
plus
the.
one.
It's in the settings. Bonus willpower points.
So bonus willpower. Okay.
Sorry, it's bonus clarity. Sorry, you get an extra point of clarity.
Oh. Clarity.
As I need to get my Pearl of Darkness rulebooks back out so I can remember exactly what you get when you recover an icon. Yes, recovering an icon completely replenishes a character's willpower points and permanently increases her maximum clarity by 1. It also restores the part of their mind or heart that was missing, which can contain pain, but also can contain good memories. In this case, your military service.
Frisian goes very stiff, says thank you again, and very quickly walks away.
Sweetie? You alright?
Yeah. Have a good night.
All right. I would like to empathy check.
Roll with some empathy.
Yep.
Rizian, are you making
Actually-
any active effort to try and hide how you're feeling?
Hold on just a second. I might be doing something slightly differently. Let me see. Uncover the blah 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 blah. I don't know that that's necessarily going to help. That just lets me determine clarity. Yeah, just with empathy. One success.
So it's less that Frisian's trying to actually hide it, and more just trying to keep his own emotions from just completely overwhelming him. So he's like forcing himself to be neutral, which comes across robotic usually.
Yeah, so not actively trying to resist being read, just trying to keep themselves in check. So with one success, you were able to read that Frisian is currently tightly wound up and bottled and trying not to explode.
All right. I'm going to follow. I'm going to try to be subtle about following.
Roll me dex and stealth.
Yep. Nah, who needs willpower? Willpower spent.
That's gonna come.
4 successes.
All right then. Frisian, are you even bothering to try and pay attention if someone's following you?
No.
Okay, so with 4 successes, Marlena, you quietly follow after Frisian.
Cool. I'm just making sure that Frizzing is okay and doesn't get into trouble or anything like that.
So you follow Frisian to his room, and Frisian goes in, closes the door behind him, opens the window and climbs out.
That is a very Frisian thing. I will say, with 4 stealth, you're probably able to be close enough at that point that you hear, after the door shuts, the window open.
Oh, honey, turn around, walk out, move to where I can keep following once Frisian leaves.
Oh, it's not hard. Frisian's running at a full sprint around that building.
Yep.
He's doing laps.
Yep.
All right.
Frisian's
Frisian
processing
has
it in the form
encrypted
of
mode.
yeah. Where's that high fist vest that we're gonna get him? But yeah, Frisian doesn't know how to process. Frisian's trying to process this in the form of physical activity.
I mean, fair.
Not doing a great job at it, so it's like running kind of recklessly at like just full bore.
Yep. I'm just keeping an eye. I'm not getting in the way.
It's very much Frisian's just staying on the property, just running around the building. So
Cool.
not a whole lot of trouble we can get into unless the mansion gets attacked directly.
At which point you have bigger problems.
Yeah. At which point I'm sure whoever's attacking the mansion is going to really enjoy Frisian tackling them at full tilt.
But for that, Frisian, how long are you planning to just run circles around the house? Are you going to sleep at all?
Eventually.
How eventually? Because at some point there will be intervention.
Does Frisian stop voluntarily because his body runs out?
Probably like an hour.
Okay, that's fine. An hour's fine.
And more because he gets exhausted than anything else.
He stops. He doesn't go inside. He just like collapses on the lawn.
It's like, stop running, drop to knees, turn body so it's a soft landing when you fall to the ground.
Yeah, and then rolls on the back, like just completely splayed out, breathing heavily. Eventually just passes out there.
Okay. Yeah, eventually I will eventually help you in.
How big is Frisian compared to Marlena?
Bigger problem. Well, actually, that is a good question.
I think I only made Frisian something like 5'4".
Not tall, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you're smaller, but also I do have a strength of 1.
Yeah, you may be smaller, but you're also denser. So feel like it's probably still a like lugging a heavy bastard for Marlena.
Come on. Let's go.
Frisian
In you
barely
go.
conscious.
As you haul a barely conscious Frizzy into his room and toss him on the bed.
Yep.
Camera moves over. Cassandra, was there anything that needed to happen between you and Tyr?
Yeah, she's the first thing he's probably noticing when she gets in the car is that she's not talkative.
She'll clock that and sort of offer an expression of whenever you want to talk, but not going to press the matter and start driving.
Is there any possible way I could get you to Cat to stay up?
I mean, it's not hard. Why?
Well, in the morning I have an appointment with Briar Rose, and she wants you to come along. I need. Oh God, there's a thing that I can do that I just found out about earlier, and I definitely. Apparently, changelings can walk in dreams.
I mean, that's not entirely outside the realm of fairy tale stuff, so.
No, I mean, it makes sense. It's just, I feel like every time something makes sense, it also doesn't. I was about to say if that makes sense, but I'm confusing myself. Look, it's weird, okay? I'm trying to wrap my head around it. You'd think it'd just be another, you're weird, of course you can do something like that sort of thing, but Anyway, I need practice for it,
Mm-hmm.
especially to be able to do it reliably. So I'm wondering if there's any way I can get you to stay up through the night until we go to the commons in the morning.
Yeah, I can probably do that.
Unless you're able to sleep all night and then well, no, I have seen you sleep about an hour after you've gotten up before. So I guess that's really up to you. But
I should be able to fall asleep on command, yes.
okay, good to know. I am worried because everything it, like I know life isn't supposed to be free of bullshit, but I have liked it to have been free of potentially apocalyptic bullshit.
The big ask.
Yeah.
We we met up with some vampires tonight, and apparently they are trying to find and wake up one of their old ones. And they believe it's here. So I'm gonna go talk to a Malkavian, see if he can't. They can't tell me where they think the body's located.
Yep. That seems probably good to do.
What are you thinking?
I'm just thinking there's a lot.
Yeah, it has. I will say this has definitely been one of the most eventful months of my life. It's gonna be okay, right?
I mean, it's not gonna be easy, but I'm not about to fucking let this. I'm not about to let anything get in our way.
Okay, I know you've always wanted it, but for the love of the gods, if there's ever the chance, do not get big hero moment energy, okay?
No, like I said, it's very easy to find a cause to die for, but right now I've got stuff to live for.
Good. Because I'm gonna be honest, I can't raise those kids myself.
No. You think I'd let you handle that alone?
I know as long as both of us are breathing, neither one of us is gonna stop. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. if I die in this war, take the kids and get out. Do not lose your life and do not die because you want to go to the same place as me. Do not try to follow me. If I die, you take our two beautiful, brilliant children out and let them mix themselves. Okay?
Do my best.
She will.
But that's not something to contemplate because that's not fucking happening.
You're right. Everything's gonna be fine.
I didn't say it was going to be fine. I was just saying we're not going to fucking let that happen, are we?
No, we are not gonna let that happen.
There's a difference between naively assuming everything's going to be okay no matter what and refusing to let anything fuck it up.
You make a good point. I'm trying to remain optimistic.
I guess I should get some coffee.
Probably, I would say. Probably.
With that, once the two of you drive home, get some coffee for for staying up. The rest of you get a night's rest and regain a willpower. Assuming you sleep, you also will regain a willpower, Cassandra. By the time the morning comes, Bellona, having not gone to sleep, has already put the kids, up and ready to go and on the bus.
Okay. That's fair. Did Briar Rose give a time?
Early morning, like 11-ish, 10, 11. Late morning, but
So she will text the Motley group chat. Okay, who's alive?
What
Thumbs
time?
up emoji.
What time in the morning is it?
She probably wouldn't stay asleep too long. 8 at the latest.
Joe says, "Yeah, I am as far as I can tell."
which
Response.
when James reaches over, grabs the phone, and just says, "Yes, she's awake."
Response from either Frank or Lisa. Yep, what's the plan?
Brazilian's outside running again.
Did he stop running last night? Or-
Yes, he would have had
Okay.
to have.
Yeah, he did stop running. He collapsed on the yard and had to be drug in by Jackson.
Question is whether or not he was still running in his sleep.
Oh my! Oh, that's something.
Probably kept running in his sleep. Like Except instead of running in a nice neighborhood in Tennessee, it's running on the beaches in Southeast Asia.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Cassandra is going to text. Tia and I are going to be heading to the Commons. Y'all are more than welcome to come and join us, but it's up to y'all.
What time?
10.
Do you need me there? And under that text, be honest in all capital letters.
Yes.
We'll be there. I'm speaking for James too. He nodded.
Oh, I assumed you spoke for him.
You'll get. I will try to be there.
It's not required.
So you and Tier make your way over to the Commons. Who else is showing up?
I'll be
Who
there.
else has something else to?
Joe and James.
That depends entirely on someone else.
Good question. Who wakes up in the morning between Frank and Lisa?
Was Jackson awake and in the kitchen by the time of that text?
Oh, easily.
Okay. Then yeah, Lisa.
Not who I was talking about. It depends on, but fair enough.
Also Frisian, yeah. What's Frisian up to when he wakes up?
I think we've established that running.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Frisian's been
that
up
tracks.
since dawn, just running some more. He's not running full bore. This is like his actual normal paced running.
Fair.
Like at the tech series, a couple of minutes, like it's starting to die down, and then eventually, like the wrong color, like one of the other colored thumbs up emojis gets posted.
It's like chosen at random.
No, like he accidentally switched the color.
Right,
And
and
it's
doesn't know how to
it's
get it back.
Yeah, like that's why it's late. It's like him trying to figure out how to get it back to the normal color, and then giving up and sending it anyways. But like, Fresnel will go to the Commons. He has no reason not to.
So since Frisian is going, is Jackson going?
I mean, all I will say now is what has been said has been said. At some point, I'm definitely going to go outside and just. Jackson just goes outside and stands in Frisian's way when he at some point in the one of the circles around the house.
Frisian runs.
Don't you try to walk around me. I swear to God, I will tackle your ass to the ground. Stop. And I am not good at tackling, so I'm just going to hurt myself, and you will feel bad about it because I know you will.
Okay, Frisian stops.
Oh my God,
I love that you flipped the coin, and I don't know what the result was because I don't know if it was going to go the other way, and then
Right.
Elena kept talking.
Oh no, I flipped the coin. And it was like, it'd be kind of amusing to watch Marlena try to tackle me. and then proceed to actually tackle me, and then not actually take me down. Now you can just
Right.
And then Marlena kept going.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
I mean, that's like honestly the most like mom. She said a lot, but that's honestly like the most mom thing that Marlena's ever said is like, because I won't be able to do it, and you'll do it, and you'll tack me to the ground, and you'll feel bad about it because I know you will.
Like the first part gets said.
It's
You
the
can see
mom version.
Frisian.
It's the mom version of fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Like, so Marlena says the first part, and you can see Frisian start to adjust course to like go beside
Right.
Marlena, and then Marlena says the second part, and then Frisian starts to slow down.
All right. Honey, I understand that you are trying to work through some shit right now. And I get that. How is it going for you so far?
It just a lot to process.
Right.
So that icon was like my entire military career. So that's 7 years of memories all at once.
Probably a lot of good ones and bad ones, I would assume.
Like there's plenty of like us messing around on base and like on leave and shit. And then there's the actual war.
Right.
But it's...
I will ask this. Are you doing what you are currently doing because it is honestly helping, or are you doing this because you don't know what else to do?
A little bit of both.
Okay. But it is helping. Like if what you're doing right now, running yourself ragged, is actually doing you good and helping you deal with that shit storm, good shit and bad shit, but shit storm that just got dropped in your head, then fair enough. But if it's not helping, we need to find a more healthy way to let you process this.
As for processing it takes me back to like boot camp and just like a grounding, a source of grounding. Also, I want to be able to actually pass the modern Marine physical stuff.
Sure.
So it might not be the best for processing the emotional stuff, but at least I can't do worse harm to myself if it's still focusing on a goal at least, instead of just like spiraling in a room somewhere.
That is fair. Then that is perfectly fine. I just don't want... You get what I'm getting at, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you're good, then that's fine. I just didn't want to, have to worry about am I gonna wake up at 4 a.m. and you've been doing you have collapsed outside because you ran for 24 hours straight and then just fell over because you didn't know what else to do.
Fair.
Okay.
I will at least try to be safe about it.
All right. You know if you want to talk.
Hmm.
Or if there's any other ideas that you might have to help you sort of reintegrate those, be at peace sounds like it's all bad, but you know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Get your head good. If there's anything else you need, all you have to do,
I do have another idea, and since we're going to the commons, I don't know about the dream stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I'm gonna go talk to Summer Court instead.
All right. Sounds good. We should probably head there, so
I should probably take a shower real quick.
yes, you absolutely should, you reek.
And first thing I'll go take a shower. The hilarious thought just came to mind. If Frisian keeps running circles around the house, at some point Marlena just stands in the front yard with the hose, spraying Frisian down. Stop! You're running a run in my yard!
Yep, I'll head back inside. Lisa, hun, do you need a ride there?
I don't have a car, so yes.
Yes, you do. That's perfectly fine. As soon as Frisian gets out of the shower, we will be heading that way.
And then we get to learn cool dream magic?
Oh dear.
What? Isn't it exciting?
Is Joe there?
Is Joe having breakfast?
That's up to Joe.
Yeah. So when Joe hears Lisa say that, she just goes, Lisa, it's complicated.
Okay. I can still enjoy it if it's complicated, right?
Okay, but here's the thing. You can be excited about the possibilities.
Mhm.
However, the situation in which we are entering into and the reason why we're learning this skill is a bit of a complicated one.
Look, if I got down every time the world was ending, then I would never be happy.
Listen,
So I'm just going to enjoy the positives.
Lisa, all I'm saying, I'm not asking you to not be not positive. I'm not asking you to be negative. What I am telling you is that not everybody shares the same kind of optimism that you do. That doesn't mean we're not optimistic. That just means we're cautious.
Okay.
And so I don't want you to take it the wrong way if somebody's not responding with the same level of enthusiasm that you are.
That's okay.
Okay.
I can be enthusiastic for all of us.
You know what? That may be the truest statement you've ever said. And I have entirely not had enough coffee.
Well, that sounds like a you problem, honey.
Lisa
Jackson's on it.
Marlena,
is on her second
great to
pop.
see your wonderful self this morning.
All I can imagine is like Marlena says, that sounds like a you problem. As Marlena's on like the third glass of wine.
I mean, you're not necessarily wrong.
Joe is just going to pull another. Oh, there goes the accent again. Joe is just going to pour another cup and just let sleeping dogs lie.
As Joe's pouring another pot, that's when Frisian comes back down.
Frisian, can I get one for you too?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Just straight up. Do you put anything in your coffee?
I'll have it however you're having it.
Oh, see, now you're playing a dangerous game. Lucky for you, I only add a dollop of cream and sugar, so you shouldn't send you with a cavity this morning.
Joe, honey, there are a lot of things that end up around here. Straight is not one of them.
You add enough cream to make your coffee fairly light, and then you add Skittles to it. You can have a rainbow in your drink.
I'm not subjecting that to anybody.
You can use M&Ms too, but I had Skittles on hand.
That is the most disgusting thing I have ever heard in my life.
And actually, that's quite a bit of an accomplishment because I know she's heard some shit.
Frisian grabbing his cup of
Goddamn
coffee,
right.
grabbing his cup of coffee, mutters to himself, "What's a Skittle?"
And she holds out a handful of Skittles.
Careful, they might have been soaked in coffee.
Frisian, I will get you a fresh bag of Skittles. I don't know where those have been. Do not take them. Take this coffee. Enjoy your coffee. Get some bacon, get some eggs, get some fucking toast, but do not fucking touch those Skittles.
She shrugs and eats a handful of Skittles.
It could be
And takes a giant
LSD for
swig of
all I
coffee.
know, to be honest with you.
What's LSD?
Nope, absolutely not. Everybody in the car right now.
And that's
Frisian.
when Jackson chugs the fourth glass of wine.
Frisian downs the cup of coffee, and then goes and gets in the car.
No, only 3. We are driving today.
Right.
Lisa will grab a bag of Skittles and head to the car.
If you get any of those loose in my car, I swear to many things. And yeah, we head off eventually.
All right. So, the group of you make your way towards the commons. I feel like the group leaving from Jackson's house will arrive shortly after Cassandra and Tyr reach the commons.
That's pretty fair to say.
So, Cassandra, you and Tyr arrive first.
I don't think she's gonna wait for anybody.
Are you heading to the commons? And yeah, once again, the 4-layered floor plan is laid out before you, and you can see Briar Rose is already in her usual spot in Spring Court, sort of having conversations and chatting to people.
She'll grab Bellona's hand. I was sort of raring to get this going, but seeing Briar Rose just, I think I want to wait for everybody else to show up.
I mean, if you're worried about interrupting, I feel like she'll be okay with it.
Oh no, it's not that. Just I'm worried any number of things could go wrong, and just want people to be here.
Yeah, we can wait a few minutes. Sorry, I'm a little tired right now.
I know. This is probably agonizing for you, and I cannot explain how much I appreciate this.
It's all right.
And
Few
then
minutes,
we will.
like 15, 20 minutes until the other group shows up.
Joe, are y'all near the door, Cassandra, or did y'all sit down somewhere?
They probably would have sat in like the mass of tables.
Joe pretty much makes a beeline for Cassandra and just like, takes her elbow, is like, I'm here. Let's do this.
All right. She will tap Tyr on the shoulder and then head towards Briar Rose.
We all get to learn the cool dream tricks.
Lisa, I say this with everything in my heart. Shut up.
Is it an invalid question?
Yes, that's
No,
an invalid question. Save questions for after the demonstration. Okay? Listen first, then ask questions later. Very later.
I honestly don't know if she's teaching all of us or just me right now. So, but I will ask. So
I'm
will,
just here to observe.
Understandable, based on the comments made last night. She will head up and find Briar Rose and introduce Tyr and Bologna.
See you, darling. Says Briar as the pair of you step up. Take it you're here for neuromancy lessons.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as it just so happens, I have a nice draft of chamomile and other excellent teas to help people fall asleep, although it looks like your significant other is not going to have a hard time doing that.
I didn't know exactly how this was going to go down, so she stayed up.
Fair enough.
And she will be sleeping here, and she'll be sleeping for the rest of the afternoon.
All right. Well, all right. Bologna, you can go ahead and just grab a couch and lay down and start sleeping. The two of us are going to have a little drink and a conversation, and I'm going to walk you through what's going to happen before we start sleeping, and then I'm going to be there with you in your dreams to help you guide you through while you're there.
All right.
Now.
And Joe's gonna look around. I may not be holding on to you, but I'm not going anywhere.
Thank you.
Really,
I will beat Lisa off with a stick.
If any of the rest of you are looking to learn this trick, I will let Cassandra teach you later. It's going to be enough of a trick just getting one person to understand this the first time around for specific situations quickly, because you got jobs to do.
Briar Rose, that's perfectly fine. We are just here for more support.
Will you teach me later?
Shut
will, Lisa.
up, Lisa.
Thank you.
Go see if Loquacious can make you some Skittles coffee, okay? Bye.
All right. So, the first thing that I will need to teach you is about the gates of ivory and horn.
All right.
The world of dreams is a deep, distant part of the hedge, far away from any other realms. Most who wander the hedge never find them. But there are two ways to enter. There are the gates of ivory which are within every changeling and can be opened as you fall asleep or even once you're dreaming. And then there are the gates of horn, which exist in the hedge. And if you wander, you might be able to find them. But for now, we're going to focus on opening the Gate of Ivory. As you fall asleep, I need you to reach out, and you can try this even after you fall asleep, because I will be falling asleep first and going with you. I need you to reach out and find that distant ivory gate that sits in the back of your mind, that's always on your periphery, and push it open. Wander through and take the reins of your dream. It's something that is instinctive. You're going to have to feel for it. There's only so much I can tell you about it. But the thing that you should know is that with a little bit of glamour, you can bring along through the gate anyone who is in physical contact with you when you dream, so long as they are also dreaming. Which is why I'll be sleeping first.
Okay.
We could attempt to bring Bologna along with you this way, but more important is going to be finding out how to leave your dream to get into someone else's. So we're going to let them stay sleeping on their own, and I'm going in with you so that I can walk you through that part.
All right.
Because from there, you're going to have to learn how to leave your bastion, the place that exists, that holds your dream while you're asleep, and how to enter someone else's.
All right. Oh, okay. I guess there really isn't. I was gonna say anything else you can tell me, but I'm gonna assume it's all just I can either do this or I can't.
You'll figure it out. Every changeling has the capacity. It just takes a little practice to hone the instinct.
Okay.
As both of you finish sipping your tea. Words. She will lay back on the couch that she set out for the two couches that she set out side to side for the two of you, and just hold a hand out as she lays down and closes her eyes and begins to slow her breathing.
She will take her hand and like she'll grab Briar Rose's hand and lay down next to her.
As you begin to drift off into sleep, go ahead and roll me Resolve and Composure.
Can I spend a willpower on this?
Absolutely.
Okay. But you gotta change it to that, Julia. Resolve and Composure. 3. 1 success.
All you need. And now spend a point of glamour to bring someone else along with you.
Okay. I am out of glamour.
Cool. You did have the one though. I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah. I had the one.
So, as you focus down and drift off into your dream, before the dream really begins to take hold, you focus and find it. This ancient ivory bone door is carved and twisting and gnarled that exists always on your periphery. But with focus and effort, you draw it to the center of your vision. and push it open and step through. What does your dreamscape look like as you step through?
Cassandra's dreamscape probably is a little unsettling to most people. The walls are ever flowing, just reams of text that are constantly going. Some of it recognizable chunks of stories that exist, and some unintelligible, just mishmashes of words. There's the sound of a clock going off constantly. Just the ever-present tick as time goes by. It is fairly monochrome, white and black. In the center of this area that they're currently in is a small table with a vase with purple flowers in it, which is the only color in the room besides Cassandra herself.
And as you realize where you are and what location this is, you also realize that sitting at the table opposite you is Briar Rose, who seems to take her own shade of color within this dream. Welcome to the dream world.
I had hoped there would be more.
That's entirely under your control at this point.
Right. That's fair. I will admit I have not messed around too much with the lucid dreaming.
Well, most changelings' idea of a lucid dream before they pass through the Gate of Ivory is not quite the same. You might be aware of your dreaming state before you pass through the gate, but you don't have the same level of control. Here, you actually have the power to influence your dream and to leave it and journey outside.
And pray tell, what is outside the door?
The dreaming roads. The deep, mysterious part of the hedge that connects all dreaming folk.
She's gonna just hold her hand up and snap and try to change the flowers.
Go ahead and you're going to try and edit a prop in your dream. Basically hedge spinning. So it's going to be okay. Go ahead and roll me. So in the hedge, or rather in the dream, your dream form does not have the same level of stats. You'll be using 3 stats. You are condensed down to power, finesse, and resistance.
Okay.
Your power is going to be your presence. Your finesse is going to be your manipulation, and your resistance is going to be your composure.
Okay.
So, go ahead and roll me presence and weird.
One success.
Easy enough. And you sort of focus your energies, and the color of the rose shifts to your whim.
So it goes from the purple to tie-dye. Fascinating. Well then, what else do I need to know before we move on?
Understand very carefully that you are largely not going to die in your dreams. The old statement, if you die in your dreams, you die in real life, doesn't hold that much weight around here.
Oh, thank the gods. Okay, go on.
However,
The aliens.
it's still not a good idea. If you die in your dream by a mundane method, it'll leave you exhausted when you wake up. It takes a lot of energy out of you. If you die by magic while in the hedge, it really takes a lot out of you.
Now, I assume you mean a magic based around, like, actually like, dream-powered magic, or like...
If you die as a result of any kind of dream weaving or the result of any kind of fey magic while in your dream form, it will be a shock to your soul. You won't die, but it's a hell of a thing to experience.
Best to avoid it. Understood.
Not to mention it may shake your sense of reality.
That is already tenuously grasped as is, so I would like to hold on to that as tight as possible.
Now, most of the time, in your own dream, you have a certain degree of influence. And you'll still be resting and able to rest and recover in your own dream. If we step outside of your bastion and onto the dreaming roads, you can kiss a restful night's sleep goodbye. Which is to say, if you go dream walking outside of your own dream, you don't regain willpower for a night's rest.
Good to know. Okay.
And additionally, it's a lot harder to influence someone else's dream. Typically, the best way that you're going to pull that off is by playing a role in the dream, fulfilling some method to influence their dreams as if you would influence someone personally.
That sounds highly manipulative.
It can be, but also entering someone's dream at all is a little manipulative, wouldn't you say?
That you have proven your point.
It's also much easier to pull off small, subtle shifts than anything major. And the more you try and do, the more effort it's going to take.
Okay. All right. This is a lot.
Now, shall we make our way out onto the road and find your significant other's bastion?
Yeah, let's try.
All right. Now you're gonna have to find the door.
Of course. Sorry, we have kittens and the mama cat's nuts. So that if you anybody's been hearing yowling in the background, that's what's going on.
Not at the moment.
Okay. Does it look like there's an obvious way out of this room, or is she telling me I need to make a way out of the room?
You don't see an immediate one, so.
Okay. She's going to attempt to manifest a door.
All right. Go ahead and roll me manipulation and expression and weird.
4 successes.
All right. The with that, you sort of focus and sort of begin speaking aloud to the air as if just trying to direct your own dream. And a door rises up out of the ground and manifests itself in front of you.
It is her bedroom door from her first bedroom. Just completely worn to shit, scratch marks in it. A small, like several little, like there's Maeve loves so and so, and the same with Cassandra, just carved into the wood.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll reach for the fairly flimsy handle and turn it and open the door.
You open it, and there's just a mist on the other side. And Briar sort of indicates after you.
She will step through.
Right. So you step your way out of the door and find yourself on a moonlit path. This dirt road stretches on into the distance as it passes beneath trembling tree things and through sparkling meadows and over jagged tooth-like rocks. Every footstep you take seems to echo with whispers of nearby dreams and drift on its own whim. There's a faint, low-hanging fog that pervades the area, and wherever you look in the sky, you see a full moon rising in the distance.
It's expansive and beautiful. But I don't feel at ease, so let's let's try and find Tia's bastion, you said, quickly.
Yeah. Well, we're going to want to find it quick. This place might be deep in the hedge, but it doesn't mean it's uninhabited.
Yay.
Not only are there occasionally some hobgoblins that might wander around, also bits and pieces of folks' dreams tend to leak out into the roads. As you look behind you and look at the door to your dream, you realize the area around it has gone completely monochrome.
Huh. Fascinating. She will close the door.
And you close it, and the area around still maintains that appearance.
All right. This is all fascinating and bewildering.
All right, well, let's get moving. How well do you think you can find your spouse's dream? How well do you think you know your spouse?
I would like to say I know them better than anybody else on the planet, but let's find
take a
it.
look. Go ahead and roll me composure and empathy. And weird.
Yeah. Weird. Submit. 1 success.
Yeah. You go looking, and after a while, you sort of just follow your instincts and your footsteps, and you eventually lead yourself to a section of the road that begins to you hear the echoes of child's laughter, and you realize that it's the sound of your children.
Right. Yeah, she's gonna follow that.
And after a while, you find a door that looks like it. The area around is covered in artwork and paintings, and the door itself looks as if it belongs on the front of a public structure rather than an individual home. You would describe the area around this dream as looking like a museum.
Interesting. Do is there etiquette? Do we knock or do we just open and go?
Well, first, we're going to want to find the key, he says. And with that, we're going to take our break. So, remember, everybody, when we take our break, you take your break. So feel free to sit up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Please enjoy these commercial messages.
We're live.
Welcome
We're
back.
back. We're back. We're something.
A dinosaur story.
No. No. We deal with that enough 2 days a week. There are no dinosaurs in this.
There could be.
I was about to say there could be.
I'm about to
There
say,
will-
we're in a dream sequence. Anything could happen.
That's the next campaign. That's the next chronicle.
Yeah.
Not this one.
I didn't think anybody was a dinosaur in the next one.
NPCs are a thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
whatever.
will almost certainly be Macaulay NPCs.
Blah blah blah. Okay.
There will be foxes.
Katie
There'll
does
definitely be
shit.
foxes.
Yeah.
Foxes and coyotes and cats. So am I.
Oh, there are cats in this one.
And a very tired bear.
Your poor character. I swear to God.
I'm like
Good
I'm
fucking
so,
luck.
I'm so excited though because I already know my character is just gonna annoy the ever loving shit out of your character. Just because we're gonna be on polar opposite ends, and I'm like here for it.
Yeah, just think about this, Shawnee. My Nuisha is probably going to be the moderate one.
What is it? Say what I. You're gonna have to call it by the animal name because I still have no
The
idea.
werewolf.
Were coyote.
Coyote. Oh shit!
Yeah, the trickster spirit is going to be
yes.
the moderate one.
My were-coyote is probably going to be the grounded and centered one.
The were-coyote who can literally pull coyote and roadrunner shenanigans.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I think I'm gonna try. I'm trying something a little different for the next one.
Are you gonna be a not pacifist?
I might not be a pacifist.
Oh my. Johnny, you're fucked.
So changelings.
Anyway. So yeah, picking up where we left off. The last statement from Briar Rose, as you had found this door that seems to lead to towards your spouse's dream, was first we're gonna need to see if we can find a key.
All right. Is that figurative or literal?
A little bit of both. Keys typically exist somewhere. They act as a relation to a dream, and they allow someone to enter as though they typically reflect the personality of the dreamer, the nature of the bastion, and the contents of whatever they're dreaming up at the moment. If you can't find a key, you'll have to try and break in, which pits you against the bastion's natural defenses and potentially makes you an intruder before you've even begun.
Well, then I think we should start looking. Hold on. Is it going to be an actual? Is it going to be an actual key, and she's just going to hold up the wedding ring?
It's worth a shot.
She's going to go and see if she can find a spot. Is there like a fairly obvious keyhole, or
There's like a door. There's like a door handle with a keyhole.
she will try and she's going to try and press the band of the ring in first.
You touch the wedding ring to the door, and there is a soft and subtle but echoing through the dream.
And she will just slide that back on her finger and open the door.
You open it. Well, easier than I thought it'd be.
Lucky shot.
Let's go inside. and you step into the into the dream, and immediately find yourself in the middle of a crowd. The crowd is faceless largely. They don't seem to have much in the way of definition. They just seem to be sort of stand-ins for what would normally be the kind of crowd that you would expect to be in a museum, which is where you find yourself. You find yourself in the middle of an art museum, as there are paintings and various different artistic creations on display all throughout. And as you sort of look around and try and get a position on yourself, and you glance around, a couple of things you notice. You come to the realization that since you have entered this dream and started dreaming, you have not had a mask. Since you entered your own dream, you have not had a mask, and neither has Rose. And additionally, you as you look around, you spot your spouse, an older version of your spouse, one from about 4 years ago, walking with a version of you from about 4 years ago.
Yep,
and
yep,
both of your kids.
I was right. Her breath just kind of catches. We should not be here.
Well, you've got the basics. The important thing, well, I'd like to let you try and do a little bit of dream weaving while you're in someone else's mind. But if you feel like you would rather leave now and leave whatever else comes up to fate, we can do it. We can go.
No. There are people counting on me. So. And she's just going to grab Briar's wrist and start pulling her through the crowd as she's following Tyr and Cassandra.
So, there. As you look around, understand that nothing in this place is real. But
That
it
is
all exists as a dream would exist to the dreamer.
okay. Catching you up really quick. This is me. This is my taken.
She nods. She seems like she had sort of been guessing that at the moment. You might see the thing if he saw it, but it's not real.
We're gonna be very quiet, and you and I are gonna go for a walk.
If you want. Everything in here that is not the dreamer themselves, she says, indicating to Tyr, is one of two things. We call them props and eidolons. Anything that is just an object we call a prop. Anything that mimics the guise of a living being, that acts as a player in this play, is an eidolon. And you are an onerapomp, someone who walks the dreams. You, if you wish to have an influence over this dream, would ideally want to take up a role within it. There's one waiting for you right there, she says as she indicates to where the other you is standing.
Yeah, that's but I don't
Step
She's
into
gonna
your
see
role.
me. Gotcha.
It's a dream. Things can look weird.
So she's going to shadow Cassandra.
Roll me manipulation and expression. And weird.
One success.
You follow after and sort of pick up your pace a little bit, and then physically step into the eidolon that represents you, and there's a faint shift in perception, and that eidolon is no longer there, and you are standing in its place as you take up the position of where you yourself should be within this dream. You realize there are already things about this dream that are different that you're taking. Your children were not at this art museum when the two of you went. For one. But the among other things, the layout is not exactly as you remember it. It seems as if things would be remembered through a dream, slightly off. But this is probably the happiest and most carefree that you've seen Tears face in a long time. As they're just enjoying a day out with family, with no cares in the world.
She's going to just go and be with him and play along. She is trying to avoid leaving him or the kids or letting anyone get too far separated.
Go ahead and roll me. Give me composure and expression this time with weird.
Four successes.
Good. You reach the point in this something between a dream and a memory, where you know that you, at this point, would have stopped to look at a painting and not realize as you got lost in it as your spouse got distracted and walked on for a minute and then came back to look for you and saw you being taken. You very carefully and subtly keep the group moving and walk directly past the painting that you know is the one you would have been caught by. And the dream continues on as the pair of you engage in idle conversation about art pieces. Half the time what Tyr is saying doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it's as commentary made on things in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Half the time the paintings are only half remembered. They seem deformed or just completely nonsensical. But everything about you and the children is as if crystalline clear through a glass. And it's a rare, peaceful, and happy moment for your spouse in this dream.
After a certain point when it is pretty clear, like a good while after she would have been taken, she's going to see if there's a way she can step out of the eidolon she's in?
You make a move with the intent of doffing the role that you have donned, and you take a step. And again, there's that shift in reality as the eidolon of you is left behind, and you step out of the dream. And you realize as you step out of the dream and unassume your role, the dream moves on as if you were not there. Once you are no longer assuming a role, it seems like it's much harder to influence because you are no longer part of the dream as it should be.
Okay, that was intoxicating. Is it always like that?
Sometimes it's similar, sometimes it's different. In this particular case, it would be easy to assume a role because there's already a role set for you. Sometimes you'll need to invent a role when there is none.
Hey, well, I mean, that's the basics, right?
That's the gist of it. There's more tricks to know and more dangers to be aware of, but that should be enough for now. Well, one of those dangers. If the person starts to wake up, you've got a limited amount of time to leave.
I was wondering that, honestly.
Usually, if you're having a hard time finding the exit as a last-ditch effort, you can just force yourself out and awake. But that's usually going to end up having the same kind of exhausting effect as if you'd been killed in the dream. And be very careful if you get stuck in a dream as it closes and can't force yourself out. No one knows where you're going to end up.
Oh, this. I could have. I appreciate the warning, but the Oh, you should not have said that. You should not have said that. Uh, um. I think I'd like to wake up now.
All right, then we should leave this dream the way we came in and head back to yours.
Yeah. She will find her way to the exit and start heading back to her dream.
And as you start to walk back, the as you start to walk back, Briar starts to explain one more thing. If you have the preparation time ahead, there's another way to make sure that you're able to enter someone's dream without too much fuss. You can get an invitation from them in the form of a pledge made beforehand that will allow you to enter their dream without need of a key.
That is probably going to have to be what we do, if I am being completely honest. That's... Oh, no, I don't know if I want to... Thank you. You have been absolutely helpful.
Now that we're out here on the road, we can either, and here's the other trick, you can wake up from your own dream at will, but if the situation calls for it, with a bit of effort, you can force yourself awake from the road. You can even force yourself awake from someone else's bastion, but first you have to be able to find the exit. And it's not always in the same place. In this particular case, this dream was rather mild, so it was simple enough to find the way out.
Okay, I feel like that is a skill I should probably try to work on. So,
All right, let's make our way out. Let's make our way back to your dreaming out.
yeah.
You wander the dreaming road until you find that monochrome section of the hedge that makes the door to your dream. And you open it and step back inside. All right. Time to wake up then.
And how do I do that?
Wake up.
Uh,
And you try, and yeah, you find yourself waking up. You realize that you are laying on a couch, and you and Briar appear to be waking up at around the same time. For the rest of you, about 10, 15 minutes passed.
Morning.
Joe is close by, but not touching, obviously.
You're still asleep.
We can let her sleep a little longer. She's enjoying her dream.
So how'd it go?
You say that in a way as if you did not enjoy yours.
I'm confused about my own dream, but that is something I have to suss out with myself. No, it was interesting. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, Lisa, it's a lot. And I'm not telling you I won't teach you. I'm just saying there's a lot that can go wrong.
Okay. I mean, things can go wrong in any world. I don't know why the dream world would be different. We accelerate ourselves at ridiculous speeds in giant metal death traps surrounded by other people and put our lives in the fate that other people are operating them properly every day. And yet you feel the need to warn me about other worlds being dangerous.
Nope, not getting into this as I grab my drink and I walk out of the room.
For reference, by the way, anyone who is looking into the mechanics of how dream walking and oneiromancy works for more details, they begin on page 215 of the core book.
Thank you.
I don't need to know the details. Lisa will just try things. And then when they go wrong, they'll go wrong.
Joe, after Jackson nopes out and Lisa goes on her happy Skittles parade, Joe is going to look at Cassandra again and go, do you want to talk about it, or do you want to leave it be for now, or?
I will say I won't give any details as to my spouse's dreams.
I mean, that's private. I don't think I really need to know that.
Well, seems like everybody's dream is sort of an individual space to itself, with roads interconnecting, and then we can go in as long as you have a key. If you don't have a key, you can always potentially make a pledge to get in before the person goes to sleep, but that requires an extra step, and I don't know if we'll be able to pull that one off.
And if you have neither of those, you can try and break in, but that's dangerous. Says Briar as she sits up.
What she said.
And I'm still not trying to be a therapist, but How are you feeling? And be honest.
A little conflicted.
Conflicted how?
Angry at something that doesn't have anything to do with me at the end of the day.
You know, I know what we are. But I'm still going to say this. How very human of you.
Yeah. As for my own dreamscape, it was I hope it's not like that every time, but it was depressing.
It's not usually, says Briar. You typically forget about it in the morning if you don't pass through the gate, as most people do with their dreams, but it's not usually the same every night. Unless you just have a particularly steady dreamscape. Some people do.
If you don't mind my asking, and you can tell me to shut up at any point in time, what made it depressing?
That is a multi-leveled question.
That's fine.
Or at least I have a multi-level answer that I don't.
Like I said, you do not have to unpack all this right now. I just
The only thing that was color in my entire dream were flowers set on the table in between Briar Rose and I.
So everything else was black and white.
Mm-hmm. The walls were just reams of paper filled with text. And there was an ever-present ticking of a clock. Brain swap those.
Looking at the talk, you know?
Yeah.
Good old spoonerisms.
Love them.
Well, yeah. Ticking of a clock is rather ominous. However, I can't help but be amused at the walls of your dreamscape were just sheets of paper with text written on them. I always kind of assumed that's how how your brain works.
A little bit.
It's an endless amount of text on pages.
Yeah. I've been reading since
In any
I
event,
could.
I believe you should be just about ready for your meeting tonight with your friend.
Let's, for the sake of everybody, let's hope so.
You will be fine.
That doesn't put any pressure on anything?
No, you're not doing this pressure thing. I'm proud of you. You're taking a big step. You're taking an even bigger step tonight. But there is absolutely zero pressure. Okay, if this doesn't work, it has nothing to do with you, and we will figure something out. That's
Okay.
why we're here. So don't you go, and I will talk to her. She says, gesturing to Valona. I'll speak for her and say, do not put all this fucking pressure on yourself. You go in, you give it your best shot. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, we're going to have to find another route. That doesn't have anything to do with you. or how good you can do it. That just shit happens.
And she's just gonna hug you.
I will take the hug.
I'm
Meanwhile,
listening.
Frisian.
Frisian, who's been there for none of it.
You've been elsewhere this whole time.
You all gallivanted off to Spring Court, and Frisian just did not.
So Frisian, what were you up to that whole time?
Frisian went to Summer Court.
Yep.
And like standing up very straight. Like he normally stands up quite straight, but this was like full added tension.
Yeah.
And he walks into Summer Court and not entirely sure what to do.
As you enter, you see that the Morrigan is standing over what can only really be described as a war table. But instead of like a map of upcoming battlefields, it just has a map of the general area. That she's just sort of poring over. Her head moves like a bird's, where it just sort of moves in short bursts of rapid motion and then pausing and taking things in. And her long black hair is like made partially of feathers whenever you see the and she has this air of something between a grand dame and a carrion bird. This sort of air of elegance and also portents of doom and death. And this air of command coupled with this sense of dread.
Frisian just kind of stands there. Not like off on the periphery.
Frisian, says the Morgan as she sort of takes notice of you. Is there a reason you're standing at attention?
After so long, it's just kind of what you do.
I suppose that's fair enough. Have you come here for a reason?
I have this feeling that there's more I should do to help with everything. Like, just help the freehold.
As it stands, your motley is in the middle of dangerous elements. I'd say that your assignment currently has high priority. But if there's other work you're looking for, I'm sure there's things I could provide.
While the current predicament might be more important at this moment, it'll hopefully be resolved sooner than later. And getting the idea started earlier is better than waiting around afterwards.
Very well. There are many tasks that the Summer Court sees to, from patrolling the hedge for potential threats to keeping security around high volume and high traffic locations where many changelings move, keeping guards around the outside of goblin markets, moving equipment, providing assistance and relief for other changelings. There's a lot of work to be done, but where do you think you fit best?
Patrolling the hedge is certainly within my wheelhouse. Watching the hedge is kind of what I did before anyways.
That doesn't
But-
necessarily mean it's what you want to do now. Many folk wish to distance themselves from what they did over there.
I am not opposed to it. I was fortunately mainly left alone to my task, whereas compared to others that had more interactions with those that took us.
If you wish, I would be willing to give you a post amongst our hedge rangers, those assigned to keep an eye on the hedge and patrol for potential danger.
All right. Otherwise, my skill set before being taken could be used for fortificate. Like, I'm not sure how to word it. Frisian would have a better idea, but Frisian would describe being a military engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Fortification.
Construction and destruction of fortifications and targeted demolition is certainly a valuable set of skills, both for a ranger and for any other number of tasks. As it stands, we don't really have a bastion of defense for people to fall back to in case of military danger. Something like that might be worthwhile. This place is hardly the safest holdout should danger come knocking.
There would certainly be a lot of collateral here if something were to happen.
If you like, a task I might assign to you that isn't necessarily any particular duty. If you find a place that's ideal for the creation of a fortification, a place for the summer court to gather on their own time outside of the commons. We've been around a bit, but we've been rather widespread and not around long enough to create something like that. If you see a place that you think would be ideal, you let me know, and I'll get you the manpower and resources to build something for us.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's about time we had a bastion in the real. A place for folk to hide should danger come calling. Whether it be mundane or supernatural. Considering the threats walking down, both.
It would be good. It might not be set up for what's currently happening.
No, such a thing would take time. But it'll be
But,
around for the next one.
Yeah.
Anything else I can do for you?
I don't believe so. Not right now.
Then you are given leave. You may stay there standing as you wish, or you may go elsewhere.
Frisian will turn and head back into the central area.
Grab a seat, get a drink.
Hmm.
That's what Frisian's up to for the rest of that time. What about the rest of you now that Cassandra is awake? Tyr's still sleeping on a couch.
I'm wherever it's going. If we're going to go get a drink, let's go get a drink. Or
I think getting a drink would be a good idea, and hopefully. Now, Julia's forgetting. The vampires are going to reach out to us, right?
Yes, you are expecting to get a call tonight for a meeting with Tyree, with the Malkavian.
The Malkavian.
why don't
Okay.
we all grab a seat, get some food, get some drinks, and for the time being, just I don't know, maybe fucking exist, where everything has the potential to go sideways.
Do you want that one after the other, or at the same time?
What, the existing or the drinking or the eating?
No, you said to just fucking exist.
Well, I mean, talk to him, and she just gotta like point at James and just walk off.
Wait, why point at me? I'm not her spouse.
James.
Yeah, that's what James answered. Bologna's is Cassandra's spouse.
No, I'm talking about fucking it. Joe was the one that said fucking existed.
She was changing that to fuck and exist.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, I get it.
I'm just saying, why would you point Cassandra at me?
No, you know what? Shut up.
Let's get that drink.
Yes, that sounds like a great idea.
Where the fuck did Marlena run off to?
I beat y'all to the punch.
That
Marlena's
tracks.
already at the table with Frisian.
Now the thought is, Marlena, predicting everybody wanted a drink, just has a punch bowl at the table and beat everyone to the punch.
This is yours. This is mine. This is yours.
Ah, yes. I get your pun.
Yes, I heard it too. I'm just choosing not to acknowledge it.
Excellent.
Y'all finally decided to come out?
I mean, I figured why not join the party?
Oh, sweet, you're
I'm
way
fairly
too.
certain nobody
you're
has been in
way-
the closet for a long time.
Would you let me tell my joke before you cut it off? Jesus, you and Sen both.
It's a bad habit.
To say, because if you are, you're about 40 years too late. How did it go?
It went. I met Brian in my dreamscape, and we walked over to my husband's and spouses,
Mhm.
and we spent some time in his. I learned how to manipulate some things. I moved some stuff around in his dream. Nothing big, nothing we need to talk about.
For reference, it's entirely up to your preference, but Tyr does not care whether you call them husband, wife, or spouse.
Fair. But it was all fairly innocuous. It was a pretty. It was not too intense of a dream.
Good.
Can Joe call her on her bullshit? Because I'm looking at her face and going, she is lying through her teeth.
by all means.
I mean, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Like, you can make a roll to see if you're right about it, but if you just have that feeling, you can just say it.
All Joe is gonna do is just look over at Cassandra, raise an eyebrow, take a drink, and very pointedly not say anything.
Good. It was all fairly fine. I mean,
Right.
if it had been anything worse, I don't think Brian would have had any issues pulling me out. It seems fairly intuitive.
That's good.
But I feel that the easiest way for us to do this is for me to interact with our point of contact and get them to agree to make a pledge with me first.
Cassandra, there is the note. You can just bring them into your dream, if need be. Though
that's
whether
true.
that would be more or less effective than being in their dream, where they might have their own influence, is unknown. But also, in either case, you're probably going to want some glamour.
Oh, yeah, no. That being said, I am completely tapped in the magical sense, so I need to go absorb. I need to feed, harvest.
Harvest. You need some glamour?
Yeah.
You have a particular craving?
You've never really tried it, Cassandra, but you do have a spouse who is mortal, and thus is a source of glamour.
I will be right back.
Knock yourself out.
She's going to head over to Tyr. And
Currently asleep.
going to just very softly touch his temple. I'm trying to, because I've seen how Mara does it in the Wednesday games. But can she?
It requires glamour to enter someone's.
Of course it does. Yeah, she will
or contract, which I don't think you have.
No, she'll like try and like mentally force it a few times and be like, probably I am tapped. I mean, I think she can make the connection there because she had to feel that exchange or the use of glamour.
Yeah.
So.
And also, to harvest glamour from anyone, all you have to do is elicit strong emotions.
I mean, that's true. Yeah. She's just going to very calmly lean down next to his ear and then just scream at the top of her lungs.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? That's better than what my thought was, and that was just hit him in the balls. I'm sure that'd get a strong reaction.
Roll me.
Oh my god.
What argument would you like to make for that roll?
She is trying to elicit pure panic.
Roll manipulation and intimidation, I guess.
Unclick weird.
That is not where I thought that was going at all.
My thought
Two
for the role for that.
successes.
The thought came to mind for that role is strength expression to see how loud you can scream.
But as she does that, she is also just going to instinctively just wrap around them as they wake up.
So yeah, you immediately glean 2 glamour off of that as Tyr immediately shoots up, going like, okay, and then immediately is wrapped in a hug, like, Jesus. Ah.
There's
Wait.
something seriously wrong with you.
Wait just a second. Time out.
Notably,
So
The
not
rest of-
only are you panicking someone, I don't even know who I am right now. And not only are you going to panic somebody awake, you're going to restrict them because that's not going to cause more panic.
Nah, she'll be fine.
what's
I'm
really fun
getting
about
panicked
this?
just listening to this.
What's really fun about this? Because the rest of us didn't follow her, we have no idea what happened because they're in Spring Court and it's silenced to us.
Yeah, the chorus don't have sound permeate typically.
That's true.
Because Joe is just assuming like it's fade to black over here, but no, she's
Right.
like okay, whatever, float your boat. But
You scream in Tyr's ear, they bolt upright panicking, and you immediately wrap them in a hug, and they're like, what the fuck?
just picturing it come out of Spring Court and everybody's just looking very,
That was
Very-
uncalled for. Jesus.
very mussed and like, okay, that's how you're gonna get your glamour.
I'm fairly certain I've gotten you back for something at some point. But no, that's fair.
God. Probably, but damn. Fuck.
She will kiss her on the nose.
It's a good
How about-
dream.
I know.
Right, you would. That was the whole point. Fuck.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it, or do you just want to let that one lie?
I mean, that one comes back every now and then. Usually it goes a lot worse than that.
I kind of figured.
Usually that's more of a nightmare than a good dream.
I could tell. It's the happiest I've seen you since I've been back.
It was nice. Well, I'm glad you got to share that, even if I wasn't really aware of it.
I think you're always aware of it. You just let everything else get in the way.
Anyway, if you're done scaring the shit out of me,
Yeah, you can either lay back down for a while more, or we can get you out of here and get you back home where you can sleep in your own bed.
yeah, I think I'd like a bed that is not in the middle of a club, please.
Okay. She will take Tyr back to the group.
Joe is just gonna look at
Tyr is still like Bologna is still shaking a little bit, like
Okay.
calming down from that.
looking at Tyr, look at Cassandra, look at Tyr again, look at Cassandra. So did you get your glamour?
I gotta be it. And she's just gonna like look anywhere else but at Tyr at this point.
Is that the reason for that? Fuck.
No,
No, I have to know.
I was about to say I don't really want to ask, but I really want to know.
No, I'm gonna ask.
Well, you
Uh,
can do that.
I simply went over and I woke her up by screaming in her ear. I wanted panic.
Her as fuck got it. God damn.
So what? Okay,
Bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you?
A lot of
Cassandra.
things.
what? Cassandra. all the things, of
Tear-
all the glamour you could have gotten. You like, let me cause panic. What the fuck is scrambled in your brain?
Tier,
Again,
if it
a lot.
helps, Tier, if it helps, you get used to being woken up by screaming after a while. It stops being effective.
That's not the no.
I don't think that helps.
That's not no. Nobody should be waking up screaming. No.
I mean,
In very specific circumstances, but only if that's your thing.
right, but I want to say what is wrong with you too, but we don't have time to delve into that.
Okay, I'm not the only one with more issues than Rolling Stone. Okay, for you'll go.
Oh, no, I mean, we all got that.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
I
thought it would be funny.
mean, it was, but Jesus fuck.
You
There's a lot of things that are wrong with me.
thought It's Sudden Panic would be funny.
In hindsight, it is, but Jesus fuck.
Wait a second. Were you the kid that pulled the fire alarm in the school building too? Was that you?
No. See, little Cassandra was a stickler for rules, and then I turned into a brat as a teenager.
You still went to school as a teenager, did you not?
Oh yeah, but by the time I was a teenager, like I'd moved on to things other than fire alarms.
Like screaming in people's ears, apparently.
Also, Tier's right. It is fun to make people panic. It's kind of the entire point of my job.
Joe is just gonna put her head down and just like, nope. I'm noping out here. Nope.
All right, I'm gonna get her home.
Yeah, that woke me up a bit, but I'm still fucking tired.
No, I'm driving. You're gonna sleep in the car on the way.
Don't wake me up with a scream next time.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna try and get you in the house without you knowing.
Car horn.
Lisa will look over. Well, if he's sleeping and you don't have anything to do this afternoon, do you want to go to the hedge and look for memories?
Yeah, I think I do.
Can I help?
I don't see why not. Weirdly enough, you have not weirdly enough, you have the most experience running around in the hedge. So,
Aside from all the things that can kill you horribly, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Joe is gonna sit back up from head desk. It's be like, I'm asking you once again to be completely honest with me. Do you need me there, or can you get by with Skittles over here?
if you don't want to go into the hedge, you don't have to.
That's not what I asked you. I promised I would if you needed me there, and if you need me there, I will be there.
More numbers would be nice, but I'm not going to make you. Do not give me the spiel again. I swear to Athena, I will send you to the afterlife.
I would almost say I want to see you try, but I've seen you with a sword, and I think you could do it. I'll sleep on it, or think on it, or something. It just puts her head down on the desk again. The table again.
Can we go now?
Yeah, and she will just grab Tyr by the arm and start dragging them to the car.
This Tyr like half leans on Cassandra as they walk out.
Just
To
let
be
me know when you're ready to go. Says
To
Lisa.
clarify, I am not going with you anywhere on that sort of situation. I assume you know that, but I just want to make it clear. So once it gets there and like, hey, where's Marlena? You don't have to start looking around. You'll know it is anywhere but there.
No shit, Sherlock.
So, as you make your way home, and the rest of you make any preparations that you need before tonight, and potentially make preparations to try and look in the hedge for a bit before the evening comes, which may or may not want to be adjusted for time because hedge traveling is temporally uncertain.
True.
But with those possible plans in the future, that is where we will end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.